The 49ers just blew out the Arizona Cardinals 41-22. Granted, the Cardinals got blown out last week too, and now have lost 7 of their past 8 games since they lost to Mac Jones and the Niners in week 3. They're dead. They need to fire their head coach. Still, the Niners are now 7-4, and their offense seems to be rounding into form. With that in mind, here are the Niners' grades for this performance. Quarterback, B+. For the most part, Brock Purdy seemed like himself. He was accurate. His completion percentage was 73. He threw 3 touchdown passes. He rolled out of the pocket. He extended plays. He made nice passes on the run. He forced a few passes into coverage that should have gotten intercepted. These are all things Purdy does when he's 100% healthy. But he's not 100% healthy, and you can tell when he runs. He's not as quick or as elusive as he was before he injured his toe. He couldn't run away from pass rushers, and he was unwilling to scramble. He never crossed the line of scrimmage, which was smart against the Cardinals. He didn't need to scramble to beat them, but Purdy will need to scramble to beat playoff teams. He's not good enough to win consistently if he's stationary. That's how Mac Jones plays. Purdy is smaller than Jones and needs to get out of the pocket to see the whole field. We'll see if Purdy's mobility comes back this season. If it doesn't, their offense won't be elite. Running backs, A. Christian McCaffrey had his best game of the season. He scored 3 touchdowns, gained 121 yards from scrimmage, and averaged a whopping 6.2 yards per carry. Granted, he was facing the Cardinals, who got torched on the ground by the Seahawks last week. Still, McCaffrey was excellent, much better than Brian Robinson Jr., who had outperformed McCaffrey on the ground leading up to this game. Wide receivers, C-. Juwan Jennings was okay. He had 4 catches for 54 yards. The other wide receivers were no good. Demarcus Robinson had just 1 catch for 13 yards, and Ricky Pearsall had 1 catch for 0 yards in his first game back from a PCL injury. Pearsall probably isn't 100% healthy, and he clearly is rusty, which is to be expected after a 6-week layoff. Still, if he's not playing well, throw the freaking ball to Kendrick Bourne. He's been in the zone all season. Tight ends, A. It's incredible how important George Kittle is to the Niners offense. He's by far their best player. Today, he had 6 catches for 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's on fire after pulling his hamstring week 1 and returning before he was fully ready to play. Now he's had 2 dominant games in a row, one with Purdy and one with Mac Jones. As long as Kittle stays healthy, the Niners offense will be good. Offensive linemen, B+. They blocked extremely well in the run game and gave up just 1 sack and only 3 quarterback hits. Of course, they were facing the Cardinals, who might be tanking, or maybe they're just awful. Still, good performance by the offensive line. Defensive linemen, C-. They recorded 0 sacks, which is a big reason the defense gave up an NFL record 47 completions. And they were facing Jacoby Brissett, who's not a starting quarterback. If they can't generate a pass rush against Panthers quarterback Bryce Young next week, they're in trouble. Linebackers, C+. None of the linebackers could cover Cardinals tight end Trey McBride, who caught 10 passes for 115 yards and a touchdown. Plus, Tatum Bethune left the game with an injury, but the rest of the linebackers defended the run well. D. Winters and Curtis Robinson combined for 21 tackles. Impressive. In addition, rookie Nick Martin made his 49ers debut at linebacker, and he made 6 tackles without giving up any big plays. Impressive. Defensive backs, C+. Upton Stout gave up a long catch, but also forced a fumble at the goal line to save a touchdown. That was a great play. And Diamaro Lenore and Malik Mustafa each intercepted Brissett once, which is great. But Brissett isn't good. And he was missing his number 1 wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. And yet Brissett still completed 47 passes. Cardinals wide receiver Michael Wilson caught 15 of them for 185 yards. Keep in mind, Wilson came into the game with 22 catches on the entire season. Playing soft zone coverage against the Cardinals was smart, but it won't work against team legitimate starting quarterbacks. Special teams, C. Sky Moore had a 98-yard kickoff return to start the game, and Brian Robinson Jr. had a 42-yard kickoff return in the second half. Both of them have been outstanding on special teams this season. Unfortunately for the 49ers, Eddie Pinheiro missed 2 extra points before leaving the game with a pulled hamstring that could put him on the shelf for a couple weeks. Maybe the Niners can bring back Jake Moody. Kidding. Mostly. Coaches, B. The Niners won by 19 points, so there's not much to critique. That being said, the Cardinals largely beat themselves considering they committed a whopping 17 penalties. Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh coached well enough to beat Arizona, but they'll need to coach much better down the stretch this season or the Niners will miss the playoffs. Shanahan letting Ricky Pearsall run a bunch of routes without gaining any yards can't happen when Kendrick Bourne is on the team and playing well. And Saleh letting the opposing quarterback dink and dunk at will can't happen when the Niners play non-backups. Their game plan will have to be much more aggressive next week. But they can worry about next week tomorrow. For now, enjoy this win.